Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. It's been like 2 weeks I think since I filmed anything, so welcome. We are back. We're going to be doing witchy and spiritual messages today. You guys voted on a poll and this was the most requested video, so please leave down below what you want more witchy and spiritual content about, whether it's about divination, spell work, past life energy as a witch. Let me know, okay? So please subscribe, like and comment. We have poll 1, poll 2 and poll 3. Okay, poll 1, this is your energy, so let's go ahead and take a look at the spiritual and witchy messages that are coming through for you right now. So honestly, when I first saw this card, immediately this was giving me low-key energy, okay? This is giving very much like daring. I also get a lot of spiritual warrior energy that is coming out for you at this time, okay? So I feel like you are right now, Pal One, on a journey of really enhancing your energy. It feels like, okay, you're enhancing your energy. Again, the energy is a bit chaotic here, but it feels like you are really working on yourself. This card is actually really calling out to me. I want to ignore it, but honestly, why would I ignore it? This is the energy that I feel like you're in, okay? 8 of Swords. You're in this time of really enhancing your power, enhancing your witchy energy, your spiritual energy, and I feel like you are needing to really do some self-discovery when it comes to yourself at this time. But I feel like, you know what it is, Pal One? You are releasing all the oppression within and around you right now. But it feels like as of right now, whenever you watch this, this is to do with your energy in terms of spiritual development. It feels like your personal power. Okay, you've been really trapped down for a very long time in this persona that doesn't represent who you are. And everything about my energy right now wants me to just end this video and start again. I don't know why I feel like that. Maybe it's because I haven't filmed for a minute, but like I want to start again. And this is what I feel like you're in. You're in this uncomfortable energy when it comes to your spiritual journey, and it feels like in one way you're enhancing your like armor, right? You're like finding out what protection magic to use, or how to really like stop people from taking from you. Energy vampires here. But then on the other hand, I feel like you're releasing this armor as well, and it's like, okay, I don't want to be in this controlled energy anymore. I want to be free. I want to speak my boundaries. I want to speak up. I want to live my life the way that I want to live it. So I feel like there is a bit of this balance here, okay? Your chakra system is important. Meditating on this energy. But you're really in this time of discovery, okay? And the ground is squeaking because I'm at a bit of an angle, right? And this part of the floor squeaks. So if you hear squeaking, I'm sorry. But it's funny because what is coming through is like, don't be scared to like make a sound. Don't be scared to really show people who you are. That is what I feel, right? And I feel like your inner teen is coming to life a lot. You're gonna either like discover new things about yourself, or I'm seeing like rediscovering things that you used to like. I'm seeing like an inner teen. Forgive me if this is not the right terminology as well, but I'm seeing a bit of an emo kid here, okay? Or a kid who likes a bit of like anime or something weird, and maybe like what other people would perceive as weird. But you're going to come back into things that you like, but you're also going to discover new things in new ways, okay? So let's see. Don't be scared to make a sound. And I feel like the essence of Loki here is coming through a little bit, okay? Not him like coming in and like channeling necessarily, but I like when the spirits come in to give symbolism in terms of their representation, in terms of our gods and our deities, okay, our goddesses. But I feel like Loki is almost like crashing and burning. It's like you have this perception of like being a perfect witch or warlock, having your spiritual journey be perfect. And Loki is reminding you it is absolutely okay to crash and burn, to like be running and to fall over. I'm seeing a child here or a teen here that was a bit clumsy, or maybe you are a bit clumsy now, you know, embracing those negative parts of yourself, those things that aren't perfect, that aren't like perfect squares. You know, it's okay if you're a bit around the edges, okay? Or like you're learning. I'm seeing someone who is changing their diet as well, learning to like eat more healthily, but like in the same breath he's saying it's okay to have a sweet treat, it's okay to just be unconditionally you. Okay, and I feel like this torch, you see how it's almost like black smoke coming off him. I feel like you're releasing this like burden and oppression that you have to be like, even this like very specific spiritual narrative, even like you have to meditate 5 times a day, you have to wear an evil eye bracelet. Like if you don't want to do that, it is okay. Heavy on the like running, crashing and burning. It's okay to just be on this roller coaster of life. Embrace it, right? Being on a roller coaster can be fun. And if you don't like roller coasters as well, this is his way of saying like, enjoy the exhilaration. Now, one thing that I feel like is happening here is my voice, my throat chakra is like a bit like stumbly. Okay, we're just coming into Mercury retrograde this weekend, so communication feels a bit off. And of course, whenever you see this, Maiden of Earth, okay, it just feels like you just need to embrace the little mistakes, the failures, the little hiccups. If you say something wrong or you react to a situation negatively, it is okay. So I feel like, you know what, this is turning out to be like a bit of a Mercury retrograde shadow work energy, but I feel like maybe you need to hear this whenever you watch this. It's okay to just be rolling around the floor a little bit, okay? So there is something about like, again, this energy of being in a field, running through a field here, just being unconditionally yourself. And I feel like Loki's actually saying like, be a bit goofy here, be a bit goofy, be a bit unpredictable, you know. Some of you are guided towards like civilization, okay? Some of you are guided towards civilization. Others, you're guided like away from civilization in like a field. Go somewhere where you can just be your goofy self. You know what it is? You may need to do some kind of practice when it comes to being yourself. Now, I had to do this honestly, and I still am learning to do this in front of a camera. And you may notice like I keep a bit of like hiccups in, or I keep a bit of unedited energy in the video sometimes, because that is me like being my authentic self in front of camera, right? I'm being myself. It doesn't matter if I stumble on my words, it doesn't matter if I say something wrong. I'm just going to keep it in, because you know what, that is the energy. So for you, it could be that you need to be yourself, maybe posting pictures outdoors. Like some of you are influencers, or you are just like, you like to take pictures of the sky, but when people are awkwardly watching you, it can be a bit awkward. So there is something around just being yourself outside as well, like outside of yourself, maybe coming outside of yourself to understand a different perspective as well. Being attached in this bubble may not be good for you at this time, okay? So what are the spiritual and witchy energies for pile 1? Yeah, I definitely feel like for you, pile 1, this is all about adjustment, okay? So you could be a healer at this time, or you're guided to a lot of healing. It is a time of reflection for you as well. Divination is prominent. Some of you are like, again, this energy of discovering yourself, either spiritually, psychically at this time. You're guided to really just embrace who you are, you know? And I feel like when it comes to being a healer, again, like I said, just like being myself in front of the camera, some of you need to learn to see what it is that you like about witchcraft, about divination. Like, what are you called to at this time? You know, and some of you, maybe even looking in a mirror could help you, not just with self-concept, but in terms of listening to your voice. You know what they're saying to me then? It's like, listen to yourself, just be silent. Be silent and listen to your witch energy, okay, coming out. You'll feel it, you know, like what kind of spell work am I being called to? What healing work am I being called to? What do I like right now? What is operating for my business, for my spiritual journey? You know, even like as you are kind of learning to be a bit more yourself, you know, what does that look like? Are you someone that likes to play games, you know, in terms of like digitally, right? In terms of like Xbox and stuff, because like I'm sensing gamers here, or I'm sensing kids who are creative, that like the craft as well, in terms of the movie as well. That didn't mean to come out, but the sign is the sign. You know, do you feel like going and sitting in grass? Do you feel like going to a lake or going to water? Like what kind of magic is being called to you? Now I'm seeing like tingling around the hands here. So your hands is significant in terms of a healer and divination as well. I do see the spider as well. There is something about the legs, the hands here, the way they wield power. You're learning to wield power, and I feel like your energy has been very limited for a very long time. It's been oppressed because of trauma, etc., everything. But I feel like it's coming up. It almost feels like stardust in your hands, right? You're definitely being pulled to something different. Now, this is not a deck that I use a lot anymore. I bought it like literally probably within the first year of me starting tarot readings, right? So I don't use this deck like a lot. I don't know, I don't always feel pulled to it. So I feel like you need to pay attention to what you're being called to, okay? You need to be willing to transform, and transformation is here as well. The spirits are really watching you at this time. Transform into yourself. I am seeing bracelets around the hands here, okay? Or someone that wears a lot of different bracelets. I'm seeing like the one that is woven, like a woven bracelet. Yeah, you need to pull on your spiritual tools at this time, okay? So yeah, pay attention to crystals. Some of you may even be called to go back to basics a little bit when it comes to learning about your craft. So what are the spiritual messages for you right now? I definitely feel like you feel a bit closed off, I'm not going to lie. The Nine of Wands is here, and it's funny because on this card, I'm pretty sure this is the Nine of Wands right here, okay, on her desk. And I was going to say like the Nine of Wands, but I didn't. So I feel like you need to trust yourself, your intuition, your instincts here, okay? The wolf is coming through as well. Again, I feel like you're learning to adapt to yourself here. So what I was going to say is I feel like you're definitely closed off to something. You're in this very hard energy, or for a very long time, when it comes to spirituality, or when it comes to just your spiritual witchy journey, you have felt like very closed off. Like I'm seeing like a hard nut here, okay? And I feel like little by little you are cracking open this nut, and you're I'm sorry, that sounds absolutely crazy, but it feels like you are opening up to yourself, right? And I feel like coming up, you are very much guided towards a lot of healing, a lot of love, pulling on things that bring you happiness. You know, one of the things that I heard that really helped me at the beginning of this kind of journey was think of someone that like brings you happiness, and just whenever you feel like someone's taking from you, or you feel very trapped, you feel disconnected from your journey, think of that person and lean on that person for support, even if it's just through your mind's eye, right? But I feel like there is something here about this new expansion and this new skin that you're moving into. So I feel like over the next few moon cycles, honestly, I feel like you're really going to shift into a different version of yourself, and you're guided right now to not worry about the outcome so much because you're transforming, okay? what they're saying is like what you think you need to achieve is not even going to matter in like a few months time, because you're going to be focused on something different. So instead of like focusing on the outcome of each thing, just focus on transforming your wings and what that looks like, being a different person every day, if that's what works for you. And I feel like you may even be going through a bit of identity crisis here when it comes to what it is that you want. Again, you are going through a lot of healing and a lot of understanding, particularly about like the trauma that you've gone through and faced. But I definitely feel like you need to move out of some sort of an illusion here around your life and around your outcome, particularly because again, I feel like there is going to be expansion in new places here, and you are not going to need to worry about the things that you're worried about right now. You are not supposed to stay in one particular outcome here. You're supposed to transform in like many different ways. And I feel like right now they're saying you could be feeling a bit distracted, a bit confused about either just life, and again about a business here, around career, about, you know, like how you can transform into your power, because I feel like you really want to be in your power. But I feel like right now it suits you best to just be open and expansive. Just be open to good things right now, instead of focusing on like having everything together, because it's causing you some delays here, or it's causing you to feel blocked off, like I don't know what I'm supposed to do type of energy. But you see this energy of like just being in nature, being in flow. Like you need to flow with nature. Go and sit and watch the trees just blow in the wind and transform. Like it doesn't matter what season it is, a tree is still a tree, you know what I mean? And I feel like you need to kind of adapt this perception of like transformation, I guess it is, or shifting, like just being in the present moment. Because again, like there is something about you detaching from this outcome. I feel like there is something that you want, and in the back of your mind you've got old people that are really pulling at you, okay, old situations. But I feel like in the present moment there is such an energy where you can just be, you know. You need to maybe even do your own divination as well, or like move into a practice that gives you a sacred space for you to feel. But yeah, there is something about you just not needing to have the candle burn, right? You don't need to have the candle burning. You see the way that like there is just black smoke coming from the candle. You need to be in this energy of just like transforming and releasing. You know, take day by day the energy. If you do divination, right, I want you to think about when you pull divination and when you're doing a reading, whether it's for yourself or another person, you know how when you're holding your cards, you're just in the moment of divination, the moon card. You're just like in this present moment. The way the cards are shuffling is how you need to be within your journey right now. You need to just transform. Okay, what is coming up? You need to get in tune with your senses. Okay, there is something around clairvoyance here for you as well, or an inner knowing of things. Okay, like just being in flow with your energy, because you're going to have a lot more of a clearer outcome here. Yeah, you see, you need to release doubt at this time. Release doubt about the outcome of your life, the Four of Cups. Just have a positive outcome at this time, you know. Have a positive perception of your life. Because I feel like you're not supposed to have something right now that is so like secure. You're just supposed to like move. There is going to be money coming in, and again there is a lot of opportunity and expansion around you, but do you see the opportunity and expansion is what they're saying. Okay, a wolf doesn't stay in one place. A wolf absolutely does not stay in one place. It does not just like build a home and stay there, right? It moves. It finds different homes, different locations, different opportunities. A wolf moves with the energy that it needs to be in. It transforms when it needs to transform. So it's not working for you right now to be so rigid, because that is the old you. You were this nut, remember? It's time to crack it open to discover different parts of yourself. I love and appreciate you, Pile 1. I hope that was helpful. Okay, Pile 2. This is your card. So let's go ahead and take a look at the spiritual and witchy energy that is coming out for you. So I feel like firstly, right, just getting a channel in, you are about to like move into some new territory and new energy. So I feel like for you, Pole 2, you've just shapeshifted, okay? You've shapeshifted into a new timeline, or you're guided to, maybe you're going to as well. And I feel like, you know what is crazy? I'm having like the craziest deja vu right now. The craziest deja vu. Like, I have seen this energy before. Your soul or your higher self is almost like guiding you at this time into this new energy. And you know what is funny? Like, recently I have been really focusing on what feels right for me, and I feel like it's coming up for you. What feels right in this new timeline is what is going to help you make some groundbreaking decisions. It's what's going to keep you grounded and keep you on the right path. So right now, I want you to start thinking about, in this new timeline, what is like required in this timeline? Who are you? What do you embody? I want you to think about what feels right. Like, does my soul recognize this energy? Have I been here before? Does my higher self connect with this? Like, even just like buying tarot cards and oracle cards, I've been like, does this deck represent what I feel connected to? Like, have I bought this in a past life? That is going to help you moving forward with new decisions here, okay? But I feel like you're really like in this energy of expansion, right? I'm a bit at a loss for words, I'm not gonna lie, okay? I feel like my voice is a little bit tired right now. But again, there is something about the way that you are wielding this new energy, alchemy as well. You're coming out of this like darkness and into new energy. So I feel like you're learning to navigate your life a little bit. That is where you're at. You're learning to navigate this new timeline that you're in. You know, what is acceptable in this new timeline and what isn't. You see the World card. I'm telling you, there is a new chapter for you here. And you're not going to recognize it at first, but it is going to feel so right for you. Some of you, I do see a pregnancy here. I don't know why that's significant. I do see a feminine who's pregnant. Now, this could relate physically. I always say if it's not physically, then pregnancy can be new birth and new things. Just this energy of this new chapter. Your guides, your familiars, the familiars have been coming through to me today, okay? Are guiding you. Your ancestors are guiding you in this new timeline. And they're going to help you shift and transform. And it feels like you're coming into a new timeline from this lack mindset, from just like old relationships, from being oppressed. And it's like, you see the way her hair is blonde. It feels like you're finding this light. Okay, this light is shifting from your crown. Yeah, this is an initiation. This is going to be something that you really mature into. And it's funny because this is the Maiden of Swords. So I feel like you're not even like ready or like accomplished in this new timeline. It's like you're working towards being the Queen of Swords. You're working towards being the crone, being the one that is almighty, being like in charge of your business, or learning how to navigate a business, learning how to navigate relationships, life, the way that you feel, the way that you act, okay? There is a lot of like practice, I feel like, is coming through. So we have the 10 of Cups. This is an initiation. This is very huge. Some of you are around this most recent new moon that is coming through. Some of you, this is timeless, obviously, so whenever you see this, there could be a new moon that is significant in you transforming, but it feels like you're opening up this new doorway for yourself, okay? You're opening up this new doorway to knowledge, to new like spell work here. There is a lot of needing to learn new things here though, okay? I feel there is some, I don't know if it's Celtic energy or if it's like the Fae, like fairies. I'm not really familiar with that energy, I'll be honest. But I do sense like fairies, gardens. Does that have a specific name? I feel like it does. So what is your spiritual and witchy energy that you need to be made aware of right now? You are going to have a lot of options. Oh, you are going to be called to step up, okay? You are going to be called to step up. And notice the energy around me. I do apologize for the noise. But I want you to take in the symbolism, because what I'm about to say is crazy. You have been in this energy for a very long time of keeping your voice very oppressed. Now, whether it's in relationships, because of trauma experiences, or just because you've been in this energy of wanting so badly the life that you crave, but never really feeling like you could have it, you are going to be finally awakening to your own power, to the point where it's like, I feel like as you're in this new timeline, it's like you're in this sleepwalker energy. Your astral body has gone there many times. Your higher self has been in this position many times. This is powerful. You are a powerful witch. You are here with a powerful purpose, warlock energy as well. You are a powerful spiritualist and psychic. Okay, now however that relates to you in your journey, whether that is all you want to be, whether that is just a fraction, you have a very powerful voice here and a very powerful purpose. And I think for a very long time, a lot of people have made you think that you aren't supposed to have this. Maybe you recently lost a bit of faith as well, or you've really just been like quiet and trying to trust the process. But I often find when you're like trying to trust things, your soul can feel a bit dim, okay? Like a bit dim, a bit like, okay, like whatever, right? But I want you to know your power is growing astronomically, okay? You are deserving of either a platform here or a space where you can be your authentic self. Now, again, for all of you, it's not going to be like a public figure or to have a social platform or to be a psychic that is like completely out there. Some of you, it could be that like in your line of work, you deserve to like reach higher levels, or you deserve to be in a job that you love, you deserve to be in relationships that respect your boundaries. Either way, you are going to be given this voice. And it's very crazy because I always say, look at what you're listening to, look at what you've been drawn to, like what TV programs you've been watching. And I've said this before in previous picker cards. I've been watching The Vampire Diaries recently, rewatching it, and I'm at the part actually where Bonnie, she has all this power and she's learning to use like 1,000 witches power, right? She's learning to use, in a sense, her ancestors' power and what that means for her. So I feel like you're really learning to navigate your personal power, but you're also going to be gifted something from ancestors, from guides here, where it's like you're going to be given this like gift of like receiving, or this gift of like your purpose, right? It's going to be a bit different for everyone, but it's like you are going to start to channel this energy. For some of you, this is mediumship, okay? Or this is like learning new spiritual tools, having access to things that you didn't in the past. You're in a new timeline. So that means, like I said, new knowledge, new spiritual tools, new people to connect with. Broom being very significant to a witch here. Okay, you see what I mean? It's like you're gonna have access to this new energy, but you are gonna have to like learn a lot of spiritual lessons. But something is being granted to you in this new timeline. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a maneuver for the first few weeks is what I'm seeing, like you adapting to like subconscious reprogramming, but you are going to start to learn something, and it's almost as if like everything's going to feel right. And I want you to think about like in the past when you've transformed, the things that you didn't have access to, opposed to when you did transform and then you had access to new energy, new readers, new people that you're mirroring, okay? It's going to be a lot like that. You're learning to use your power for your business, okay? Some of you are learning to build your own business here, to build your own empire, to navigate new relationships, friendships here, to have positive outlooks. And I feel like your guides are coming through and they're going to be reminding you, like, if you're speaking negatively, they're going to be saying, okay, you're not receiving because did you like put that spiritual lesson to work? You say, oh, I'm gonna like start saying affirmations, but have you really been like using the power of affirmations to shift your life, or have you just been saying them for the sake of it? You know, the way that you talk to yourself in this new timeline is very prominent for you. The way that you are willing to step up, you know, because I feel like from again like the first few weeks or maybe recently, you've been in this energy of like not really putting in 100% effort. You've been giving like 50, right? And this is why like obstacles again, the world again, this is why there's been obstacles, because you've been holding yourself back. So you're going to be tested. The universe is going to bring new things in and you're going to have to shift. You may notice it happening very quickly as well, is what I feel. But it's like, again, are you going to use your knowledge? Are you going to like put the work in? So I feel like the universe is going to give you an obstacle and they're going to say, okay, is she going to overcome this, or is he going to overcome this? Yeah, you're going to need to learn to balance out many projects here. There is a lot of energy in the collective around saving at this time, or learning to make better investments into things that bring, you know, fulfillment. Some of you have been really spending your money a bit recklessly. Maybe there has been a lot of self-sabotage because of you know, the things that you've been through. But I feel like, again, you're going to need to start like being the maiden or being the crone here, okay? That spiritual sword of discernment, spiritual evolution, spiritual practice. You're going to need to start like using things very clearly. There could be evil eye coming in as well, right? Or like lower frequencies. But what does that mean? Are you going to use the broom to clean, okay, to cleanse? Are you going to like pull on your witchy energy? And I think this is the thing, like since transforming into a witch, okay, because I didn't always know I was a witch. The thing about witchcraft, I feel like it's a lot of like lifestyle, okay? It's a lot of like learning the practice. Like, you know, the same way like when you feel a bit clogged, you pick up something to cleanse with, whether it's a cinnamon stick or, you know, whatever you choose to use. When you pick up like a sage or whatever, a sage stick, I personally don't use sage. That's why I haven't said it, because to me, like, close practice, right? But like whatever you use to cleanse, it's like when you get into the habit of cleansing yourself, or you get into the habit of like doing a spell or using protective herbs, you know, that is being a witch, being able to harvest and grow your herbs. There is something around that I feel like is important for your spiritual journey, getting into a new routine of like high vibrational energy. And that doesn't mean that you need to be positive, love and light all the time, but like learning to speak to yourself in a new way. You know what I mean? Learning to like, okay, probably need to do a spell today. What's the moon cycle under? You're going to be getting into these new habits, okay? Spell jars are very significant. I just looked at my own spell jar then. But I feel like you're going to be breaking free. Like your voice is breaking free here. Your confidence in yourself. And it's like the more you practice like what brings you happiness and what is actually going to help you, this silence just becomes empowerment, you know. Some of you, again, it's spiritual discernment, learning to like use like your energy of reaction as well. Are you reacting to every little negative thing, or are you just like, okay, that I'm human, right? Mistakes are going to be made. You see what I'm trying to say, pole 2? Everything in the way that you operate is going to affect your happiness and fulfillment. I feel like, to be honest, you're going to be working on this business or this money, but there is something still about relationships and the way that you are operating things on this old timeline. I'm going to be trying to be very clear when I explain this. So basically, I feel like the way that you've been operating, whether it's career, relationships, it's based off of the old timeline. Okay, so it's like, even though it could be somewhat successful, maybe the way that you talk to clients isn't your most confident. It's a oppressed version of yourself, because you're so used to being unhappy or having to keep your voice dim. Or maybe you've been like viewing your life right now as like, I have to do this to be successful, otherwise I'm never going to be anything. Instead, like, you need to look at the opposite. So like, what does like a happy lifestyle look like for me? You know what I mean? Like, that was the old timeline. So in the new timeline, I'm not doing things just because I have to do it. I'm doing things because they make sense, because they bring happiness. And I feel like a lot of what you've been building has been built of trauma, and that is why things seem so hard for you, and that is why they're not working, because they're built off an old timeline. So I feel like in order for you to transform, you're literally gonna have to do some very deep spiritual cleansing, okay? And you need to kind of see where you're building off of the old timeline. And again, I do sense this energy feels a bit difficult at first for you, but once you get it down, you're going to be able to see like the present moment a lot more clearer. And I feel like your guides, there is something around the new moon and the way like the moon is like really blocking the sun, like eclipse energy as well. There is something so powerful about you having this realization, because it's almost as if like moving into this new timeline was one thing, but I feel like you're gonna have something crash and burn again, and it's gonna feel like you have to start again, but it's not you starting again. It's you actually coming into the energy that is right for you. Okay, I love and appreciate you, pole 2. I hope that was helpful. Okay, pole 3, this is your energy. Let's go ahead and take a look. So I feel like, firstly, you got the card. I feel like it's Samayan. That's the way you say it. Probably not though. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to pronounce it. And I also don't know too much about this festival. I do know it is paganism, or like Celtic paganism, I believe. And I do know it represents the end of summer, coming into winter, okay, moving into almost like death and rebirth energy, okay? So I feel like for you, pole 3, this is very powerful, because I feel like this is about to come up. Whenever you see this, this is obviously timeless, but for those that are watching when this video is uploaded, this is like very powerful. This is coming up for you. So I feel like when it comes to your energy, to be honest, you are a very powerful psychic. You could be a necromancer, I believe that's the right terminology. Mediumship, I'm seeing gravestones, I'm seeing a lot of darker energy when it comes to the underworld, okay? So as we move into winter, or whenever your winter is coming, you are going to really start to transform and actually receive way more than you're receiving now in this energy, okay? You are going to have this like huge awakening, and I'm seeing it feels so scary, but it feels so powerful. It feels like there is like a whoosh of wind like above your crown, and you blink and it's nighttime. The moon is really illuminating these psychic powers that you have, and just these psychic gifts. It feels like they're enhancing, they're upgrading. For some of you, you're coming into them, or you're understanding new gifts about yourself. But I feel like all of a sudden it's like you go from 0 to 100. You start seeing spirits, hearing spirits. Some of you could be called to learn divination here as well, or you start understanding the truth about things here as well. But I feel like I keep hearing Scorpio energy for you, and I'm hearing darkest fears. You need to face your darkest fears. And I feel like a part of this is you releasing something that no longer serves you, but there is an emphasis here on you awakening to this power. It's like you're awakening to start something new, or to just take a risk and do something. And maybe everything around you is mirroring like, don't do it. You know, this is like a very weird decision you're making. This is very chaotic. You know, you may even think like you're going crazy a little bit around this time. that you are going to like start something and it's going to be amazing. Some of you, Goddess Hecate's energy is coming through as well. She's going to be guiding you at the crossroads of this energy, okay? She's going to be helping you transform into a witch or warlock. She's going to be helping you become very powerful. She's going to help enhance business, clients. But I feel like there is an energy about the time needing to be right here. The Six of Pentacles. So again, this kind of come out in reverse, but I've taken it upright because it feels right. You are going to have access to some new money, but heavy on the energy. It is not time for this yet. And I feel like on some level, you know this, you know you're supposed to come into a lot more money, or there is supposed to be a lot more that happens in career, but it's going to come in for you, but it's going to be when the time is right. And there is going to be a huge ceremony within the spirit world around this. Five of Pentacles. Right now, you need to be releasing lack-minded energy, like working on your money, spiritual money, your abandonment as well. Again, your darkest fears, your lack, things that have kept you weighed down when it comes to your practice, okay? There is a lot of understanding that I feel like you're going through right now. So we have the element of fire. You see, it's like this initiation, but this came in reverse. It's not the right time yet. And you see the symbolism, he's coming from dark to light. It's not the right time yet. So around Yule, okay, Christmas time, there could be something that really takes off for you, but it's not the right energy. You will have to wait, but when it's time, you'll know. So this could be a specific moon cycle around lizards, okay? Maybe look at deities, gods that are associated with lizards. Maybe Lucifer's energy, I don't know. I do sense Hades here as well. But there could be a moon cycle. I'm not really sure what moon cycle it is, okay? But it feels like a fiery moon cycle. Or maybe like a water sign moon cycle, something in Scorpio as well. But maybe look up the spiritual meaning of lizards. You're going through a lot of root work, okay? So you could either be a root worker, or you've been really like alchemizing off of like your oppression, really learning how to transform. But I feel like what is coming through here, the wolf really wants to come out, okay? So I feel like right now your magic has been oppressed, or there is something around career, magic, your life, okay? Something around your practice has been oppressed. It's just not been magic in the way it should magic. Does that make sense? What I'm being shown is like, what they're showing me actually is, you know how like sometimes you light a candle and it doesn't light fully? It's like flickering a little bit. It's a bit dim, it randomly goes out because it's not the right energy, right? There is something around like a candle that has been flickering within you, and it's like, on one hand, like your magic has just not been where it needs to be. You know, you've not been where you need to be spiritually. But then on the other hand, it's like something that you haven't started or haven't had the courage to really go towards yet because the time hasn't been right, is going to come back up for you, okay? This is something around your practice, magic. It could be like a spiritual business as well, is what I feel. But you are going to like really like release and like express yourself when you go through this. So again, it could be like I need to be like a medium, or I need to like focus more on necromancy. I need to move into this. Like there is something here that you are supposed to transform into. But I feel like it needs to be very divinely guided, because you need to be in a place where the energy is almost clear for you, you know. Like it needs to be where you're not so emotionally focused on other people or other things. Like right now you're going through a bit of purging. This is what it is. you, like each cycle, you may feel like you're growing stronger and stronger, but it's still not the right energy for you. Like you need to be patient with this, okay? So you need to be focusing on the root of the problem, okay? You need to be focusing on what actually hurts, and you need to be releasing the pain and the emotions that you feel. Even if it's like, I feel like my career is not taking off, I feel like this person doesn't validate my feelings. You need to start creating some new energy from this, okay? But you can only do that by facing the pain. 6 of Pentacles in reverse again. I feel like your money has been very limited, or you've not really found the right fulfillment around career. Does that make sense? Like you're making money to just make money. There is something around business, or like even like your investment in yourself has been or felt very half-hearted, but you've been really trying to make it work and it's just not working anymore. This limited version of yourself is not working. So you're being called to self-care right now. You're being called to take care of your own needs. There is something about you needing to take time off of work. I don't know how you're going to do this, okay? But they're saying find a way, whether it's like I need a sick day, I need to get additional support here, or I need to just sleep a bit longer. You need to be taking care of yourself right now, because I feel like you're destined for so much more. And when this comes in, I'm telling you, you are going to feel so fucking powerful. You're going to feel so loving and just so like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this power to come in, or I've been waiting for this opportunity to be right. Something wasn't right here. And this is why your guides haven't been bringing this energy towards you. That's why they haven't been giving you too much like investment, because they're like, it's not the right energy. Like it works for right now, but it'll get you by type of energy. But you're supposed to be in such a higher position. So I feel like they're saying you need to learn to stop playing it small here. You need to start accessing a lot of higher frequency. Not higher frequency necessarily, maybe for some of you, but how do I say this? A lot more serious energy. Like again, you see this energy in the background. It feels like there is like past life guides coming through. You have access to like some spiritual information. Like you can siphon energy here. Not only can you siphon energy, but you can like see things that not other people can't see, okay? You have a very strong psychic gifts, and it comes from past life energy. You had many different jobs, okay? For some of you, this was like a more serious job in a past life of authority. Like you sat on like a court of people is what I'm seeing, or I'm seeing like a legal team with these scales. Like you had some kind of moral position in a past life, and I feel like in this life you're accessing this frequency by accessing gifts from the other world, okay? From the underworld, from above, okay? You are supposed to be connected to the moon cycle, to knowledge, not just knowledge about other people, but knowledge about yourself as well. So whatever you're doing, you're playing it small. And this is going to come in. It's going to be a serious job. It's going to take a lot out of you, okay? Because it's going to require your old foundation. It's going to require your old relationships. It's going to require, you know, you having to shift. But there is something about you bringing like healing to other people. You bring like destruction out of people as well. Again, for some of you, you help people even pass over. But I don't know, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Spiritual warfare. You are being sent, and I say sent, right? But I just want you to listen, okay? You're being sent to another dimension almost, or like you're being put front and center. Like I'm seeing like spiritual warfare now. I'm seeing like literally like a war, okay? Conflict, matters of importance. You're going to be put front and center to start like helping, okay? Like foot soldier type of energy. You're going to lead people to destruction, but it's going to bring so much healing to them. Again, your purpose is different, babe, okay? It is so fucking different. It is so tapped in. Now, the way that I'm saying it, I just want you to know, like, I'm only seeing it on one perspective at the moment. So it could relate to different things. Like, some of you, it's supposed to be like a job in government or a job in presidency here, okay? A public speaker. This could even be like an officer, like you are being put in a position, a teacher as well for some of you, like you are supposed to teach people. It's going to be different ways for all of you, but you're supposed to lead people, and whatever way that you do this work, it's going to help people, like bring real matters to light, and it's going to help them find a lot more peace. People like you are needed, okay? So whether you're working from graves, okay, or tarot cards, whether you're working from an office, your purpose is fucking different. Trust it. I love and appreciate you. I hope that was helpful.